Hey, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. I wanted to give you guys this is not a typical review. This is more so some information for you guys to be able to use um, when you go vehicle hunting. This is supposed to be the, I guess, #1 selling SUV in the United States. And I've also had 3 issues with this from day one. I'm a positive person. I like to give you guys an insight on the positive things first. So before I start this video, let me just give a shout out to Marines out there that's watching the video, Semper Fi, and any other branch of service. Thanks for your service. I'm proud service Marine Corps, active duty, and I fell in love with this truck. So I'm gonna talk about the things that I like first. Just quick things, and then the reasons why I'm taking this. I'll be taking this back and exchanging it for the same thing with something different because of some of the issues that's going on. Also, if you hear the piano music in the background, which you probably will, that's Etruscan. Piano keeps me calm, good to go. So check that trash out. It's on all music platforms. And this is the Defender. I'm gonna go over the outside first. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys already seen this in other videos, so I don't want to spend too much time on this stuff. I want you guys to know what to look for when you go and check out and test drive this for yourself. Okay. I'm gonna get in this thing here in a second in the back seat. I'm gonna show you. I love the spacing in here. You know, this can actually still be used probably to this day as a military vehicle. Obviously, the war has changed, has gone into a different direction. So now you can get a couple Army National Guard guys in here. Just if anything else jumps off in like those inner cities like it did a few weeks ago and whatnot. This is the back hatch. So as you can see, this is the Defender P400 SE. So this is not the base model. Good to go, and it's not the X, the top tier. But you know, a lot of that trash, you know, that comes in that top tier, you really don't need. Oh, the tire cover that says Defender on the back is in the mail. They were all sold out. They're on back order, something like that. So it'll be here in a couple weeks. Good to go. So this is the spacing for the hatch area. There is a vehicle out there like this. It actually comes in, let me back up so you guys can see it. It actually comes with 3 rows of seats. If you need that, you can go get that. This has plenty of room for, you know, luggage and all of that stuff. No box reviews, you know what I mean? None of that nonsense. I think you guys can get a general idea of what the back looks like. Of course, the seats come down. And look at all this, the leg room here. I am 6'4", and I'm going to get into the back of this behind my seat. I didn't even adjust the seat so you guys can see how much room that I have, right? That just gives you a general idea. And I'm gonna get into the other seat with the normal passenger. We're set behind, right? And as you see, I got all this leg room here. Okay, let me try to hurry up so I can get to the bad things that I have been experiencing. I'm gonna close that door. I'm gonna close this back hatch. Those are not the problem areas. Okay, I'm gonna close this hatch. Now, while I got this door open, I'm gonna start off with the first. This is not a major problem, but it could be to you. This door hatch does not close the way it needs to close. This is the first issue, right? So you got to really put some force into this bad boy for it to close. If a kid comes up, you know, you get your kids, they sit in the front seat, you know, that door is not closed. It should close right away. I mean, you guys know that. So obviously this is an indicator that'll come up. Door's not closed, right? You're driving down the road and door flies open. You don't want that to happen. Good to go. So you got to really put some force into closing this door, especially when all the rest of the doors are closed. So now that bad boy is forcefully closed. But you know, if you're going out on a date, you know, you got the honey bunny in there, whatever the case may be, you know, you slamming doors, she's gonna think you're mad at her or something. You gotta let her know, look, the door's not closing properly. I also like the way this bad boy sits. You know, you riding down the road, everybody will see you at the light. This sits high. There's an option for this to rise up, which I'm gonna go over after I go over a couple of the other things. As you can see, the lights are different. I mean, it makes a statement. That's in that mode and normal driving around mode. So don't forget to turn off if you want to rise this vehicle up. If you want to rise this vehicle up, that's the button for that. So this gets up. Also, while it's rising up, before I show you on the outside, this bad boy gets up on the highway, okay? So it kind of feels like, you know, I'm in a convoy all over again. You know, you're driving this down the road and it picks up speed. So there's a couple different engine options you can get. The engine option I have is the 6-cylinder, and they say they got a turbo on it and all that stuff. I drove the 4-cylinder. I didn't think it had enough speed, enough power. And then, you know, those things, you try to put too much stress on it, and it's not going to give you the power that you need, depending on what you're pulling or whatever you're doing. So now that the vehicle is risen up, you might be able to notice the difference on camera. So don't, like I said, you don't want to make that mistake and leave this risen up and you try to get into your garage and might not fit. So as you can see the difference in the spacing, how much clearance the vehicle has now. Okay. Now going back to the complications, on day one, you know, I test drove this. I didn't notice these other two issues. And the second issue outside of the door is I was driving down the road and there was a whistling sound coming from the driver's side area. So somewhere in here, there was a whistling sound, right? And the issue I had to get fixed the second day I brought it back. They took care of some of it for me. This is a sheet. I don't know if you guys can see it. But it was tested. They said it had something to do with some hose that was vibrating against the engine bracket. They repositioned the hose, and they tested it, and it was good to go. But it's somewhat good to go, and then it's not. So they didn't fix the issue 100%, which I don't like that. So when I'm on small back roads, and going, you know, 45, 55 miles per hour, I don't hear the sound. Excuse me, I don't hear the sound. But when I'm going on a highway, you get out there on 95, you get out there, whatever the main highway is closest to you, the problem, you can hear it again. So it makes it sound like, and it happens once you take your foot off the accelerator, right? As soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, that is the winding issue. Now, the other major issue that I'm going to talk about here in a second, and as you can see, before I get to that, you know, there's plenty of leg room up here. You got this, you guys are not going to be able to see this, but you have it's kind of like a panoramic roof, and it goes all the way back, way back. So if you want me, you can hang out the top. You know what I mean? Kind of like a gun turret. You know what I mean? And like I said, you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's probably about 7 Marines in here with gear and all that good stuff, just to give you a little the way I process it. A little synopsis of the spacing. And then of course, you know, you got your space over here. On the passenger side, you can get, you can put your handgun up there. You can put your sunglasses, or whatever the case may be. You can also, you got space down here on that little compartment. I'm not trying to go over all this other stuff. Y'all can check out another video for that. Good to go. You also have deep space. So let me open this up real quick. Right, you got all your necessary documents in case you get pulled over in this thing. And then, of course, you got your deep space in here, which you carry, your concealed carry or whatever you choose. This thing opens up somehow. Get it out of the way. Right, and you got your cup holders. Good to go. But that stays there. I already had my coffee for the day. They give you this little sticker here to put in your window when you have issues with the vehicle, and it goes into the shop and they take care of everything and whatnot. So the other major issue. So when I'm driving down the road, this is the final last issue as of right now. I only had this truck today, 5 days. And it's already, like I said, I'm getting it exchanged because this one is a major issue. So I have to turn off one of these settings. I go to all. Front collision warning alert likes to pop up when I'm driving down the road. It'll pop up over here. I'm driving down the road. I'm going 40, 45 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour. It'll tell me front collision warning alert. And the truck decides to stop while you're going at that speed. It'll try to stop, it'll hesitate, and then once you slow down, it'll stop. That's dangerous. Good to go. So that's something that you have to, when you test drive these trucks, you have to play around with some of this stuff and make sure that your vehicle doesn't do that. They talk about, it's some diagnostic stuff. You should not be selling a truck without going over, your preventative maintenance, right? Military, we do that stuff all the time. We check our gear before we go out. We check our vehicles. We do PM checks and all that good stuff before, we go out, whatever the case may be. So Land Rover, Land Rover needs to check all this stuff before they put these vehicles out on the lot, right? Because if I'm driving and somebody's behind me with that, which, wasn't at that time, I was on the road by myself the other day when the vehicle was doing that, somebody can run into the rear of you. You know what I mean? Because you can't, it's not you pressing the brake and stopping the vehicle, it's the vehicle doing it on its own. So anyway, I had to turn it off for it not to do that. So I told them we got a snowstorm that's coming, and they said they'll take care of it after the snowstorm. They said right now this is the only particular vehicle, in the Alpine white or whatever white this is, nice white color, and everything and the options that I have on it, which is not really that much, the seats and all that, the 6-cylinder engine. They're looking for another one to swap out. I said I'll swap it out. I did not decide to buy this because we all know how Range Rover has a lot of problems. Land Rover, and you would think that over the years, these issues would get addressed, would get fixed, right? But apparently that's not the case. So before this vehicle, I had a Porsche Macan Turbo. It was a 2015, and I didn't have one issue. I didn't have one issue to go with that vehicle. So if Porsche can do it, I think Land Rover can get on board and stop giving us consumers junk. Stop giving us junk. I love the vehicle and all that. I love the things that it's capable of. The spacing that's inside, the way it flies down the road, as I mentioned before. And we can use this as a family vehicle. You can use this as, like I said, the military can adopt some of these. You know what I mean? Put some bulletproof doors on it, all that, bulletproof windows, thicker glass. All that good stuff. So I do still recommend it. You just got to do your homework. And when you're doing your test drive, make sure that you test drive the crap out of this thing, because I did my test drive And there's some things that I kind of looked over, like with that door. I thought it was just not closed hard enough, but it should be. You shouldn't have to put in that much effort to close that door. Same thing with these electrical issues. That is a bad day, and it could be a bad day for a couple different people if this truck all of a sudden gets rear-ended because it has a malfunction in the electrical system when you're driving down the road. So I'm not going to keep you guys too long. I just wanted to let you know things I like and the problems I had with this vehicle from day one. So again, to all the veterans out there, thanks for your service. And then just, you know, the civilian people that's watching, thanks for your support. And y'all have a good rest of the weekend, whatever it is for you when you get to this video. Good to go.